It's a name you may not know, but Robert Duffy is the president and co-founder of Marc Jacobs International. Joseph Gordon Cleveland sits down with the visionary to discover how what began with a handshake has become one of fashion's most recognized companies.
How did the collaboration begin with Marc Jacobs?
I started working on 7th Avenue for a big company called Reuben Thomas. They told me, go find a designer. We'll finance your first venture. And Marc, I met him at his graduation dinner, and I loved immediately what he did. We met the very next day, and handshake, and that was it.
That was it?
And that's it till this day.
What drew you to the collection?
It was everything I loved. Marc was doing all these hand-knit sweaters, and we were having this conversation about doing luxe cashmere sweaters, but they had holes in the elbows, and
Right.
They were washed and boiled. They were very well-constructed, well-tailored pieces that just were fucked up.
I've always thought that Marc's work is smart without being intellectual.
One of the adjectives that I used to describe it is friendly. And there was a quote that I loved from Bill Blass. He didn't think that important and fashion should ever be used in the same sentence. And Marc is a very firm believer in that philosophy as well.
You are very much the man behind the retail move for Marc and for Marc by Marc Jacobs.
You're inspired by the people that you work with. And Marc and I tend to like to work with young people because you can't be exposed to everything the way that you once were. And it's very difficult unless I surround myself with young people. And that really is what led me to want to start a secondary line, Marc by Marc Jacobs.
Marc by Marc and Marc Jacobs International is known for its commitment to charity in the communities in which it operates.
When we started becoming successful, making a lot of money, I said, Marc, 30% of what we make, we're giving back. Clayton's a great photographer, he's a kid. And I said, do a book. You're going to Provincetown for the summer to work in our store. I said, take your pictures, let's do a book.
Having been there since the very beginning, what do you see as Marc's evolution as a designer through the years?
Professionally, he's more adult. His passion for what he does has never changed. I was in New York with him yesterday, and he was so focused. All he wanted to do was talk about this pocket and this cuff and this button and this trim, and that's all he's going to think about that whole day. And it'll be perfect.